it's Shelley Borman, your home loan strategist here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about property tax escrows in Colorado, and specifically how those escrows relate to new construction and the challenges with that. So in Colorado, property taxes are paid in arrears. That means that the property taxes that are due next year are based upon this year's values. This poses some challenges for your property tax escrows in your mortgage when you buy a newly constructed home. So when a home is newly built in Colorado, the property taxes for that home are still showing for unfinished land. So the actual property amount is quite low. It's the responsibility of the county assessor's office to update and value the property to the level of the finished home, but there's often a lag between when the builder completes the home and when the assessor's office completes that updated valuation. Sometimes that lag can be as much as 18 months. By contrast, though, when you're buying a home with a mortgage that has escrows, your lender is required to estimate and collect the appropriate amount of property taxes so that the mortgage company can pay the property tax amounts when they come due the following year. And the lender is required, or they must assume, that the full amount is going to be due. So they are collecting a higher amount. So clearly that creates a disconnect. First, the lender doesn't know the actual property valuation that the property or that the county is going to give the home. Oftentimes, and this is really a good thing when we consider that it's what our property values are based off of, but oftentimes the county assessor's office is valuing the property at less than the purchase price that was paid for to get the home. And second, depending upon the timing of the valuation by the county assessor's office, the taxes that have been collected by the lender may actually be much more than what's actually due to be paid to the county when those taxes do come due. And that's going to be if the county hasn't updated the valuation, if that valuation is still based on land, or if the amount due is still based on land as opposed to the finished product. So the mortgage company is only allowed to hold so much in the escrow account. They do an annual analysis on that escrow account, and anything over that specific amount is refunded to you, the buyer. Therefore, it's highly likely that several months or even a year after you close on your new home, you may get a check back from the mortgage company for too much money in your escrow account, because the amount that the mortgage company collected for your taxes was way higher than what was actually due if it was based upon the land value for the taxes. So they're going to send you that check back. At the same time, the mortgage company is going to decrease your monthly payment because they don't want to continue to collect too much in that bucket. But the kicker comes in when the county assessor does finally complete the valuation, and the amount of taxes due the following year then is going to be higher than what the mortgage company will have collected, because remember, they decreased your monthly payment because they didn't want to collect too much. Well, now the amount due is much higher than has been collected. So at that time, the mortgage company is going to come back to you, ask for more money, and they are going to bump your monthly payment back up, probably close to what the originating lender had it in the first place. But let me give you an idea. Let me show you what this looks like when So here's an example. You can see that these property owners bought the home on April 27th, 2020. They paid $435,860 for the home in April of 2020. Now, if we look a little bit lower, we see these 2019 taxes were $5.81. Now, that's actually was the responsibility of the builder in 2020 because the home buyer didn't own the home at all in 2019, and those 2019 taxes were paid in 2020. However, you can see that the 2020 taxes, which were paid in 2021, went up to $1,769. But if you look over at the far right column, you see that the actual property value that was given at the time was $75,300. So it was a partial assessment done by the county. So in this case, these home buyers likely got a refund back. However, in 2022, now we see in the far right column that the actual property value has gone up to $409,200. Now, no, it doesn't match what they paid for the home, but this is good because that means our property taxes are based on $409,200 versus the purchase price. And we know that homes have appreciated higher since then. But you can see that the property tax amount increased to about $2,370. So these property owners were likely contacted to send that money back to the mortgage company, and now their monthly payment has been bumped back up to cover that now in 2023 and going forward. So long story short, if you get an escrow refund check back from the lender, deposit it, but don't spend it. Put the funds somewhere safe because the mortgage company is going to be asking for those funds back from you at some point in the future. So hopefully this helps understand the wonkiness of property taxes and escrows on a home in Colorado. If you have any questions, you can always reach me on my cell phone, 970-481-3340. Thanks so much. I look forward to talking to you soon.